underneath bucket. You can see the floor got pretty smashed. But, you know, straightened it out as best I could, welded it up where it was torn. Welded a brace on the inside, you know. And I'm going to weld the seatbelt brackets on the outside. And then we'll, you know, touch up a little bit of the paint, put the drive shaft in. Probably going to end up changing that seal later. We'll see if it leaks or not. Might leak, but we'll end up changing that. Well, so this has got 430 gears in it. We're going to switch it to 390s, I think. We got to find the seat belt nuts. Got to figure out what I did with them. We're going to weld those in. It's kind of like an extra support. Then we'll get up inside and throw some paint on that roll bar. We'll get all the stuff we can get painted without taking the glass out. And I probably won't paint this upper bar right now because I'm going to actually move that switch panel down. Everybody has one above them, but I hate that. I hate having my arm up there. So I'm gonna have a bar come down. I don't know, either next to the shifter or something. Let's see. Those seat belt brackets in there. Nope. Oh, hey, there's that wrench I've been looking for. I wonder what those things are. I'll leave that open. Let that dry up a little bit. Pretty nasty. Let's see, where do you suppose those things are? Maybe on top of the wire welder. First, let's look on here. Nope. My TIG finger. Let's see, yep, they're there. Basically, it just holds the nut plate on there. So I've got the nut plate on the floor of the car, plus I got the reinforcement plate inside, so that'll hold the seat belts down. This is in and mounted up. Seals in the trans. I think everything's good. I replaced the roller bearing in there. New braided lines, new pan hard bar. So I think I can install the drive shaft now and see how it goes. No more broken drive shafts for this thing, hopefully. Now you see that move, that's just because I don't have the pan hard bar in place. You can call it track bar, pan hard bar, whatever you call it. I call it pan hard bar. So drive shaft's in it tight, loop's in it tight, transmission's tight. We're gonna measure and set these bars right quick. We got to build some platforms to put the car on so we can measure and run the numbers on the 4-link. Shocks are in and mounted. Pan hard bar. Looks like the rear end's got to go over to the right a bit, and we do that with the pan hard bar. And we'll so we're 3 inches. We're shy of 3 inches. Ow. Okay. I want to say that 4-link is good, because I feel like we did that before, but I don't really know. So we're just gonna snug all these down. That way, if we don't resist the temptation to drive it, nothing will be loose. I see the lock nut or lock washers are tight on the shocks, so those look good. These are tight. These are in and tight. These are tight. These are tight. These are no longer, so I got to plug those up. Plug that up. Okay, so started working on this fender a little bit. I want to finish up some of this welding and get this sanded smooth. Finish up this base down here and get that bolted up. I sanded a little bit on the bottom of the door there on the outer rocker. But I'd like to get this done today and maybe get a coat of Bondo in there. Get this mounted up where it's supposed to be. Just make it look a little bit better. I'm just gonna give it a black just like this, so it's all one color, and see how it goes, you know. Ouch. Okay, so I try to weld my vice grips to my work at least once every day, because you know that's the right way to do it. All right, now when you're welding on thin metal, especially body panels, you really want to do like a spot here, a spot here, and a spot here, and a spot there, and a spot here, and a spot here, and then wait. When you don't do that, you get all kinds of warpage, which you can see in my body panels. I'm not a body guy. I stretch these. They're a little out of proportion. You know, it's not perfect, but it's my work and it's my car, and it's, you know, it's fine with me. So let's do some more spots. Yep, and that's about all you can do. You know, you hit that and then you wait. I got it a little warm down here because I don't really care if it warps underneath. This is a body line that's going to be bolted. This is where the old exhaust came out. I'm not going to cover these because I eventually want the turbo exhaust to come out here as well. So I'm just going to get them pretty straight. This one was damaged because I was trying to get in my house before the cops got turned around, and my garage doors were pretty tight, and I had the big bull horns on here and whacked my garage door. I might have a little video of that or something if I can find it, but anyhow, that was a little damaged, so it's a little better than it was. I'll hammer that out a little bit better. I want to get this done and get this mount created and get this fender pinned in where it belongs. And then once I have the fender pinned in where it belongs, then I'll dolly this out a little bit, get this rounder, and then I'm going to make a chrome cap maybe. Maybe it won't be chrome, but I want to make a cap that bolts in from the inside and just fills this hole, at least until I decide what I'm going to do with it. But I've been putting this off for a while, so still a little warm right here, so we're going to stay away from this area. But this feels pretty good, so I'm going to hit another round. Oops. You want to actually get it welded though. It's not warm here, so I'm going to get a couple right here. It's a little warm up top, so I'm not gonna get up there. It's good here, so I'm gonna put a couple spots. And again, I can't stress enough that the heat makes warps. So if you put your hand on it and it's warm as a coffee cup, just wait. It only takes just a couple minutes. Yep, coffee cup. Not bad there, but I'm going to wait anyway. It's coffee, more than coffee cup. So, and other people may disagree with that, but you know, like I said, I'm not a body guy, so I do what I can. Okay, it's pretty cool. Let's keep going. Oops, burn a little hole. That happens too. It does happen. You know, this stuff is cheap, and if you just go 1 second too long, bangs a hole in there. So it's no big deal. Next time I come down to this area, I'll just bump the weld that I already have because it's thicker than the metal, right? And I'll bump it and put a little pool there, and it'll take half that hole out, and then I'll go around again and hit it again, and hopefully it catches, and we can keep going. But if it doesn't, you know, we keep working the hole over and over until it finally isn't one anymore. Now that's going to warm up this panel, so we'll just let it do its thing, let it get warm, and then we'll let it get cool. This is a horrible place to stretch this fender, because it's actually inside of the inner cowl, and so I can't get anything behind there, so it's really hard to block this, you know, hammer and dolly block this out. But it's fine. It's fine. We're We're not body guys. Where's that hole? Right there. Yep, covered it nice actually. I'm gonna do one right here. If you have a big gap like this right here, you're never going to be able to, well, I won't say never, you're likely to blow that out. So since I have a good spot here and a decent spot there, the next time I come through this area, I'll spot between those. And then the next time I come through that area, I'll put my wire, I don't know if you can see it, I'll put my wire, I'll have it come out and hit right on the edge of that spot, and it'll puddle below it, right? And it'll cover part of that hole. And then the next time I come through, I'll do the same thing and it'll cover more of the hole. And it'll end up being like this one, where that's a pretty nice cover, actually. And so we'll continue to do this over and over and over and over and over and over and over until this is all welded. And then we'll get the file belt sander and we'll just take and smooth the buttons off. We don't want to do it on both sides because the weld is the strength. So you want to, anything that comes out the back that you get penetration, leave that on there and just, you know, just take the tops out. Don't get grinding down deep in there or that stuff will crack. So this is nice and cool now. Yeah, this whole panel's cool. So I'm gonna start here, 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 here. Okay.
So I gotta knock that piece off. Okay.
And it's a little bit hot. Got a little too crazy up there, but that's okay. We'll let it cool. It can get the same temperature that the sun gets the car, and it won't warp. But it's right here, pretty hot. So I expect it to pull a little warp in, which is fine because this needs dollied out anyways. This is where the exhaust crate kind of crushed this in. So that's going to take a little hammer work anyway. Looks nice though. All right, we'll get back to this in a minute. No sense in you watching me do the whole thing. All right, guys. Well, I put about 150,000 spot welds on there and just started cleaning it up. It looks pretty good. I also made this mount. This fender's just been flopping in the breeze, you know, so I finished welded in the new piece on the bottom, and I welded in a reinforcement, and I also put a shim spacer in there, and now it's mounted to the body mount like it's supposed to. It's rock solid. That'll give me a chance to get some of this warp out of this before the fender was loose, and then anytime I got in there and tried to manipulate it, just flopped the fender all over. So now that I got that nice and tight, I should be able to maybe get this little bit of warp out of here. It doesn't necessarily matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it's this good, you know, nice little skim coat of Bondo would be nice. It'll make it look good. So I'm going to get this ground up and get this part done. And then I'm going to lower the car down a little bit and I'll start working on the upper piece. So let's see what we got here. So you see it's coming along pretty good. Takes a little while. You know, it starts to expose some of the parts that are warped out. We'll get a hammering a block over here, and we'll see if we can't get that a little straighter. A lot of times you make it worse. You know, I got this part fairly straight here, but as I did that, it buckled up right here. So it's pretty hard for me to move this with all the spot welds. So I'm gonna have to get in there and knock these spots down and get it smooth, and then I should be able to get in here. Dips down a little bit right here, not too bad, just in this area. It's a little high here and it's a little low there. That'll be something that I can clean up though. So I'm just gonna take the file belt sander, run up this line and across this line and maybe up to here, and then I'll see any places that the welds is lacking. I'll put a couple more spots in there and get that thing firmed up. This doesn't look too bad right here though, for the most part. All right, so for the most part, this is pretty straight. For it being smashed, man, it sure looks good. Now, you couldn't just throw some paint on that puppy and be done with it. It's going to take a skim coat or two of body filler, but that's all right. One thing you've noticed, you know, when you're spotting up a body panel, if you just make a spot, the thing grinds right off, no problem. When you start piling it up, like when you make a hole and you can see here it's piled up and it's piled up over here and it's piled up, that takes a lot of work with the grinder to get that off. And then you end up superheating the metal, just like if you're welding too long and you get a little warp. So you got to be super careful. I was not super careful here, and I'm going to pay for that. This is going to take a lot of work, and this is going to take a lot of work. So I'm actually going to switch gears and go with a sanding disc. Okay, do you want to try this? So there's this area right here that's kind of caved in. And what I want to do is I want to take this side of this block and I want to put it right here, right like this. See how it's above that body line by just a bit? And just, yeah, you're going to hold this block like this. And then I'm going to tabulate, I'm going to try and get this dent out. And about every 5 or 6 hits, you're going to take, I'm going to stop, you'll take it off and feel it. And see if you can get it. Now where is it? Right here? Okay. Oh, it's pretty good. Right here. Where is this?
Right there.
Okay. Put it across that gap right there. Let me feel it. Oh, it's almost out. Okay. It's close. Does it look good?
I mean, it's got a bunch of grinding marks on it, so it's hard to tell.
All right, put it across there. Put it across there again. Go across both of these. Okay. And that feels pretty good. Let me give it a look. Oh man, that looks really good. I mean, really good. I wish I could get this slight dent there out, but you know, it doesn't look horrible. Oops, be careful now, don't make that. Okay, it's much better. Yeah, I think that looks much better. All right, let's get a little look. All right, so this was the first sheet metal I ever did, and I know it's not super easy to see, but this was all warped in. This was caved in. This had a big buckle right here. You can still see where it's buckled in here. I can't get to this because it's behind the cowl. But I used a shrinking disc on this, and I could use a shrinking disc on this, but I'm happy with the way it looks right now. It's not perfect. You see the wave, but I think it'll take a nice coat of body filler, and it'll look smooth. I am far from a body man, so if I seem like I'm super excited for something that doesn't look great, it's because I am. Because if you were standing here looking at it prior to me working on it today, you'd have been like, oh my gosh, you've destroyed that fender. But it really doesn't look too bad. I'm going to leave these holes in because eventually I'm going to have the exhaust come back out that way. But for now, I think I'm super excited, super happy.